Hey gang, so I wanted to spend a few minutes talking about account verification on merchant cash advances in the unsecured working capital space. Now, this doesn't necessarily pertain to term loans and lines of credit. Those are two different animals, right? But in terms of a traditional MCA, a traditional merchant cash advance, account verifications are done typically in the middle of the process, but then again at the end. So when the merchant gets, or when you get the documents outlining the particulars of the deal, and you execute those docs, most of the time the merchant thinks they're done. But depending on the lender will do one final verification of your accounts. They'll verify, number one, that the account's still valid, number two, that there's money in the account, number three, that there's no suspicious fraudulent activity, number four, that there's no huge swaths of money leaving the account, and lastly, and perhaps most importantly, they're going to do a look back, a yearly look back that will cover the term of the loan as it's being repaid now. So to give you an example, let's say you're getting into a working capital MCA and you're closing that loan, you're accepting the money in January of 2020, and let's say it's a $100,000 loan and you're going to pay it back in 6 months. So the term of the loan is January 2020 through June of 2020. What many lenders do is they'll access your accounts, with your permission, of course, and they'll look at what your performance was, your revenues were from January 2019 through June 2019. They'll look at it a year ago to cover the same period that you're going to repay the term, or that you're going to repay the loan right now. And they do this to make sure that you have a historical basis and that you're not going to be overextended and that they're not going to be put in a bad position either. The problem with that is, unless you're kind of given a heads up on that, you don't necessarily know that that's going to happen. So we've had borrowers before, clients, merchants, that once they get the initial approval, they think that's the number. That's not always the number. The number can go from whatever the initial approved amount was to zero in a hurry based on how your current bank accounts look. It can also get amended in half, 3/4. It could get a little bit of a haircut. It can also increase. We've seen them increase from time to time. That's not as common, but it can happen. The point of the video is make sure you pick a good advocate. Make sure you work with a commercial loan broker. They can guide you through the process. They can direct you to the good lenders. The fintech space is a crowded, loud space. And unless you have a kind of a trusted advocate in your corner, you might not always see these things coming. Thanks for watching. Thanks for choosing Comcap. Have a great day.